All right, before we cut across to our panelists this evening, the questions that we put forth. Did the government backtrack because of public outrage and not voluntary uptake, as they seem to suggest, that many have already downloaded the app? So what's the need? The second question we asked, the rollback, which we now see, a political retreat of sorts, disguised as user acceptance of the app. And a question that is still being raised, who signed off on the mandate? Did anyone ever check its legality or even its constitutionality? And lastly, will the government release privacy audit of Sanchar Saathi to address which are clear and simple surveillance concerns? Let's take all these questions to our guests this evening. Joining me, Rohan Gupta, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party; Adil Singh Bhoparoy, National Spokesperson, Congress; Kanish Gaur, Founder, India Future Foundation, Cybersecurity Expert; and N.S. Napinai, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court, and Founder, Cyber Saathi. I'd like to begin with all of you will get 2 minutes time to put your point forward. Rohan Gupta, beginning with you. Clearly, what happened, Rohan Gupta, something till yesterday was that it's voluntary, you can delete it. It started off with being mandatory, then it became voluntary, and now there is no need to even pre-install this app. What's this complete U-turn?
See, I don't know why anything which is for the people of this country becomes anti-opposition. This is the really, really poor mindset where opposition parties are questioning each and everything. Before
no,
this
once again, I'll hold the time. Forget the opposition, sir. I'm asking you. It is the U-turn has come from your very own government.
No, absolutely no. There is no U-turn.
So
I'll cover all the points.
What is this now?
I will cover all the points.
The rollback,
did not
is this
hold
political
my time.
retreat disguised as user acceptance?
No.
Is this because you're now backing off because of public outrage and not because you suddenly seem to suggest so many people have already downloaded it? Didn't you not know this earlier?
I think
Go ahead, sir.
Had you waited, I would have covered all the points, but nonetheless, I'll cover all the points. No worries. See, basically, already 1.5 crore users are already using this app. This is basically a cyber security tool. Like you also have a phone. There are maybe 50 apps which are pre-installed or already there. It doesn't mean that that app is using your data unless until you go into that app, put your things, nothing happens. This is just a facility which is available in your phone. Mind you, 20 crore people have already used this portal. So it is basically for a cyber security tool. If my phone is stolen, somebody misuses it, I can stop it. So basically the point what opposition is trying to make, that each and every facility which is given by government to stop the cyber fraud, if they are questioning that, what you can do, but still the government decide that, okay, if it is voluntary, let it be. It is not pre-installed. But then it is somewhere, removing that right from the common man, where it was available on his phone and now he have to go to the app store and download the app. But the question, again, I'm coming to the basic question, Preeti. There is no backtracking. It is the facility which was given by government on the phone as a pre-installed facility. Now people will have to go and download. But this is purely a cyber security tool. 20 crore people have already used. Lakhs of phones have been traced which were stolen. Lakhs of IMI misuse have been detected. Every day around more than 2,000 people are reporting the spam calls, international spam calls. So basically this is purely a cyber security tool, and opposition party always, as usual, without any kind of proof, they will just attack the government, and at the end of the day when the truth will come out, they will backtrack their words. In past also this has happened, that each and every point they have questioned something which is offered by government, and when they don't have any evidence, they will just cry foul. So I think I'm against this kind of mindset where anything which is good for the common people, they should take it positively rather than just opposing it.
All right, your time is up, but the fact is nobody is questioning the efficacy of this app of being a cyber security tool. What everyone is questioning is how it is mandatory. Allow me to download something. Don't decide for me that you're going to put an app and I don't have, the ability or that I can't actually delete the app. That is what is being in question, Rohan Gupta. And if you say there is no backtrack, of course there's a backtrack. It started with what the Department of Telecommunications the first communication seemed to suggest very clearly that this app could not be deleted.
See, Preeti,
that's what it was. And then there was a U-turn where it was said you can delete the app. Fine. You had companies like Apple push back and say that we are not going to allow it. And today, what is being communicated by the government is that we don't even need to pre-install it. So what really happened? I'll circle back to you. But Adil Singh Bhoparoy, the fact is, much ado about nothing. This is a cyber security app. There are a fair amount of complaints where cyber fraud is concerned. How do you control that? You actually, the government had given an option to people. You try to turn it around and make it a surveillance issue.
Preeti, had this program gone through, this would have been the largest surveillance program which human mankind has seen. The largest surveillance program which any country has installed. And we are glad that the government has revoked and retracted on this. And this is obviously because of the pressure of the Congress party and the general public outrage about intruding into people's lives. Point number one. Point number two, on a fundamental level of privacy. Why should the government decide which app should be there on my phone? It is my right. It is out of my volition. I will choose whether I want X app or Y app. The government cannot play the Orwellian state or be the big brother and decide. Number two. Number three, please see the intention of this government. First, they pass a directive without consulting relevant stakeholders. The parliament is in session. They did not consult any opposition party, and they issue a directive to all telephone manufacturers to pre-install this. Then, once the cat is out of the bag and there is pressure, they are forced to retract. So therefore, this government repeatedly plays this game to intrude into human lives, which is absolutely undemocratic and unacceptable. Number four, to take my friend Rohan's point further, if their intention is to augment cybersecurity in this country, then the way forward is to empower cyber police stations, give them the equipment to trace, make them more responsive, educate them, give them scientific training. That is what you need. You need to strengthen your cyber police stations. We all are cognizant of cyber frauds which take place. But this app is a backdoor, Preeti. Let me repeat. This app was a backdoor to intrude, listen, eavesdrop, and snoop on 1.5 billion Indians.
All right, I want to cut across to Kanishk Kaur. Kanishk Kaur, the larger question now also is being raised by many, including many cyber experts, is that will the government now release a privacy audit of the Sanchar Saathi app?
Ideally, it should have done before bringing this app or mandating something like this. We have seen multiple government apps have major cybersecurity issues. Let's look at your Digi Yatra app. Last week, there was a company which had cloned the Digi Yatra app, and before that, a startup challenge was launched, and the personal identifiable information of millions of Indians was breached from the Digi Yatra app. Before that, we had COVID app as well. Now, when government wants to mandate such apps, they should have the right level of assurance. They should publish an independent report stating how this app will not be used for surveillance, and it has the right level of safeguards to ensure privacy, which is a fundamental right of every citizen of India, is being implemented on ground. Mind you, the government is trying to bring in a data protection bill, and at the same time, if you're trying to put in such apps, then I don't know where this country is heading towards. So we need to ensure that rather than just, politicians coming and talking and saying, the app is safe and secure, let's show it on ground by bringing in real technical analysis of such an app, stating it's free and secure. And you can use government's own machinery. You have independent assessors, auditors, certain panel auditors produce a report stating that this app is fully secure. It will safeguard personal identifiable information, and the user data of millions of Indians will not be leaked to third parties or will not be misused by the government for surveillance. Where is that independent assessment right now? None of it exists, right? And there is no parliamentary consultation which has been done, no public consultation even involving civil society. Forget bringing in the tech companies. Now, when everyone is coming out and saying that this is not the way you operate in a democracy, then the government is going back and changing the method, saying, okay, now you are free to use whether you want to download or not. It is not mandatory. So I think there has to be a course correction here.
All right, I want to bring in Enis Napina into this conversation because privacy, surveillance, ma'am, seems to be a smoke and mirror game because there is already apprehensions. You're coming at the back of Pegasus where we still don't know. The court has mandated a committee. We still don't know what the findings of that committee was.
The first thing I want to come in on is to say, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. It's a good move that the government has done now. I'm glad that they have recalled this directive. Needless to add that the directive per se itself was unsustainable, but whatever the reason, they have recalled it. So I want to, add here on what ought to be done going forward. Now, your concern, I'm talking to the government here, of course. Your concern is that there are a lot of crimes that are being committed and that you must find a solution to stop the misuse of stolen phones. So find a less intrusive option. Needless to add that Sanchar Saathi per se, as you rightly said, ma'am, it was never about the app or the service. It was about it being forced on users. That was impermissible. Nobody is questioning that this may be a good service. So let people decide. And meanwhile, as the other panelists have shared, ensure that there is transparency in the manner in which the app is going to function. What are the kind of data that you're going to collect? How are you going to use it? How long is it going to be stored or retained? Who all are you going to transfer it to? My concern arises because there was a very strange move a while back, a few years back, where our license details and driving the vehicle registration details under Vahan and Saathi were actually sold by the government. See, these are not details we have the option to share or not. When you're collecting data as a governance process, it cannot be shared with private parties on the ground that the government is making some money. My data is not available for sale. And
Okay.
the Data Protection Act includes the state.
Right, ma'am, your time is up. I'm running out of time, but I'd like to give 1 minute each to all our panelists. And Rohan Gupta, the fact is, the other question is, if one had to only retract, after a fair amount of pushback, both politically and otherwise, did anyone think over the legality of it, or rather even the constitutionality of this app? 1 minute, sir.
Preeti, I think you are mixing two things. Retraction is not of the app. Retraction is of the pre-installation of the app.
Exactly.
Mind you, 20 crore users. So that's what I'm saying, Preeti. So app is not stopped. People are still using it. While we are
The
talking, more than
constitutionality
20,
of having it
Preeti, can you
That's
let me
what I'm
complete?
questioning.
Like,
Make your
can
point,
you let
sir.
me complete? If you are also buying a phone, there are 50 apps which are pre-installed by the manufacturer. It doesn't mean that those apps are snooping on you or they are getting your details. No, it's a facility. Whether you want to use it, don't want to use it, that's up to you. And what kind of things this app is doing? It is reporting of suspected frauds, block your stolen phone, know the mobile number connections in your name, know the genuineness of the mobile set you are buying. So what data this app is taking? Absolutely no data. This is just to help the user. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, definitely you can question the process and all. But when you question the government's intention, at least you should have proof rather than just throwing stone in air. And that's why government, before they question unnecessarily the intention of the government, the pre-installation is stopped. That doesn't mean that the app is stopped. People are still going, and yesterday only there are more than 8 lakh
Okay.
downloads.
Rohan
So
Gupta, I
let me
think you're
be
missing
very,
the
very
woods for the
clear.
trees here.
The facility
Nobody is
is not
questioning the
available to the
efficacy of the
people.
app. The app,
The
in effect, is great. I was actually thinking, because I've lost 2 phones, I was actually thinking
Yeah,
of downloading
so
it. But you
definitely
can't tell
just
me
go there.
that it's going to be
Immediately you will.
pre-mandated. You can't tell me that it's going to come pre-installed. It's
But at least
pro-choice,
you
no,
should
sir. And
now
that is
you
the
know
right to
about it,
privacy.
right?
1 minute to the Congress spokesperson. Go ahead.
Preeti, the defining feature of this party in government is intimidation. So, how do you intimidate people? You intimidate people by carrying on out a massive surveillance program, and you start digging in their personal information. So, in the guise of a very benign so called cybersecurity IMEI protective app, this was a mass surveillance program. I think that's beyond any pale of doubt, number one. Number two, this government has a habit of thrusting its half baked policies, which lack intellect, which lack constitutionality, which lack international best practices, onto the people. And once there is sustained pressure, they withdraw. So I think it is in the interest of the government to consult stakeholders and those individuals who understand systems. Of course, cybersecurity needs to be strengthened, but it needs to be done in a scientific way.
All right, Kanish got to pull you in because, the intent of the government is clear and the intent was right. We do need something to strengthen cyber security. There is cyber fraud in this country. There's nothing really wrong with the app. I was actually thinking of installing it. But what was wrong in the manner in which it was being pushed through? Do you think the government was trying to test waters to see if they can?
See, the government did not build the right level of privacy and trust. If you have to build something like this and take it at a mass level, you need to have reasonable assurance, testing and standards rolled out. You need to have a clear standard operating procedures saying that you are going to introduce this app. Firstly, get in the parliamentarians. Was the parliamentary standing committee informed about this decision? Was it even discussed? If they were trying to build this app out, and this app existed for so long, suddenly what is the need of bringing this out without taking informed consent from different users? Why were some of the tech companies on whom it was imposed not even consulted once? Why you had to face backlash from companies like Apple saying, we will not go ahead and install this app? Right? And that's pure embarrassment. All of this could have been avoided if the government would have followed a democratic procedure. In some of the other laws which Ministry of Electronics has come out, there were public consultations organized.
Sorry, the time's up. I've run out of time. NS Napinai, your final 1 minute, ma'am. Last submission. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there was this question raised by the government spokesperson about, lack of trust. The issue, sir, here is not about lack of trust. It's the government's duty and responsibility that we are questioning. You have the duty to protect us against scams. At the same time, you do not have the right to intrude on our privacy whilst, complying with your responsibility. So when you say something has to come pre-installed, you as a government do not stand on the same footing as corporate entities. When a corporate entity intrudes on our privacy, we have our rights against them. When the government intrudes on our privacy, it is a constitutional guarantee violation. And therefore, you will be answerable then when it comes to judicial review. This is the crux of the issue in terms of why it was recalled. I don't think it was a political diatribe that resulted in it. I would like to give the benefit of doubt to the government to say wisdom prevails.
All right, time's up. Thank you, all four of you, for joining us. Like we said earlier, nobody is questioning the efficacy of the app of being a security tool, a cyber security tool. What one question was how it was mandatory and pre-installed, and something which I guess the government has realized and backtracked on. A quick break. Stay with me on the other side. Lots happening in the parliament today. We're going to get you more. Stay tuned.
Hint, thermals parole. बड़े आराम से.
Rohit, we need to talk, okay?
Yes, sir. That's Air India now.
ऐसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
25 लाख का हॉस्पिटल बिल है. इतने पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे?
पैसों की चिंता आप मत कीजिए पापा.
मैम, सर का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस क्लेम अप्रूव हो गया है.
आप
पॉलिसी बाजार.
पॉलिसी बाजार पर 0 GST के साथ अब 1 करोड़ का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 550 रुपए महीने से शुरू.
हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से. जय हो देश हो विदेश हो जेके हो.
देश का टायर, JK टायर.
Baby, you're ready for the fourth now?
फोर्थ को हमारी एनिवर्सरी का बर्थडे. आज फर्स्ट आई कांटेक्ट.
Dude, red flag. छोड़ दे, अभी भी टाइम है. अभी टाइम नहीं है. आज वो बिग बोल सर के बाद
4 to the 14 of course मुझे याद है।
डेथ को
इतने कॉल्स पर एक फोन नहीं उठाया just because it was 2 AM.
I get it bro. हर ट्रैवल कंपनी 24/7 कस्टमर सपोर्ट का प्रॉमिस डिलीवर नहीं कर पाती। Chill.
Get true 24/7 customer support everywhere you go with Bright Sun. Bright Sun Travel, making travel brighter.
In another world, an element is born. Enchanting, bewitching. Introducing the Phantom Black Edition by Grand Vitara. Nexa. Exquisite comfort. Bespoke hospitality. Culinary excellence.
Big words, huh? Trust me.
The experience here is far bigger. That's Air India now.
लिविंग रूम को एक बार फिर ओजी हैंगआउट बनाया है। विजी टीवी टाइम वापस लाया है। Meet the TV that has it all. Visi TV. TV time is back.
ये बेस्ट है मैम।
पर पहले वाला क्यों नहीं?
अजय भाई! This one's for you. बिरला ओपस एश्योरेंस देने के लिए।
ऐसा क्या है इसमें?
एडवांस क्वालिटी। 1 साल में पेंट को कुछ भी हुआ तो पेंटिंग वापस करके देंगे।
वापस करके देंगे।
वापस करके देंगे। वो भी free।
पटेल भाई, you're a rock star.
क्वालिटी पे इतना कॉन्फिडेंस इसलिए बिरला ओपस एश्योरेंस रजिस्टर करो birlaopus.com पर।
Kia. Movement that inspires.
मेरा ये बिजनेस एक मास्टर स्ट्रोक है यार।
है ना? पर मुझे लोन कौन देगा यार?
Oh God. सचिन
क्यों देगा मुझे लोन?
अरे मैं नहीं, बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा देगा तुम्हें एमएसएमई लोन। बॉब डिजी उद्यम के साथ 100% डिजिटल प्रोसेस, अप्रूवल इन मिनट्स। बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा से एमएसएमई लोन लेना भी एक मास्टर स्ट्रोक है।
Well, Delhi is no stranger to abject poor air quality, and right now, thankfully, it's seemingly become an issue where Parliament is concerned. The Congress today turned the spotlight on what it calls government inaction on pollution, staging dramatic protests outside the House. What you can see on your television screen is Congress MPs wearing masks in protest. Also, Sonia Gandhi, in an op-ed, has termed India's air pollution a slow-motion tragedy, warning citizens are being forced to breathe toxic air. In midst of all of this, inside Parliament, Congress MPs also, like I pointed out, donned masks and protested outside what they call was an air emergency. Taking a step further, Congress MP Imran Masood arrived with an oxygen cylinder amplifying the party's charge that the capital is running out of breath. Now, the Congress trying to make a political statement of it at a point where inside Parliament, hours have been allotted to discuss Vande Mataram, but till now we haven't seen a constructive debate where pollution in the national capital and other cities in India is concerned. With that was one development today in Parliament. The other one also was also concerning a Congress leader, and this time it was Renuka Chaudhary. Row over Renuka Chaudhary's dog bite intensifies. Remember, Renuka Chaudhary had got her own dogs to Parliament and she was questioned on that account and why she had bought her dog. She says real dogs are inside. Today, there is word that the BJP might be moving a privilege motion against her. Responding to that question about the privilege motion, Renuka made a dog sound. Listen in.
संसद में प्रिविलेज मोशन लाने की तैयारी कर रही है बीजेपी, क्या कहेंगे आप? क्या और क्या बोले? संसद में प्रिविलेज मोशन लाने की तैयारी कर रही है बीजेपी, क्या कहेंगे आप? क्या और क्या बोले?
All right, two developments there. I want to bring in Rahul Gautam. Rahul Gautam, I think for most of us in Delhi, for the first time, many, would be backing the opposition on the account of raising the pollution issue. How serious is the Congress to push forth for a debate on pollution in the Parliament? Number one. Number two, what's going on with Renuka Chaudhary's possible privilege motion against her and her retorting in a woof rather than a statement?
Well, as far as the air pollution is concerned, I can tell you that it's one of the one of the main agendas as far as Congress is concerned after SIR and the recent bomb blast that happened in the national capital. And Rahul Gandhi himself had put out a video over in which people who are actually getting affected with the rising pollution. If you remember, he had posted a video earlier also with environmentalists at the India Gate. So as far as Congress is concerned, and that's why you saw, member of parliament like Dipender Hooda, Imran Masih, and Maulana, primarily, MPs from the Uttar Pradesh and Haryana coming out with oxygen masks, oxygen cylinders, just to put out a message that the government is serious. In fact, Rahul Gandhi had said yesterday that the dog issue, Renuka Chaudhary's dog issue, is being propped up only to, just deviate or just distract from the issue of rising air pollution. As far as Renuka Chaudhary is concerned, you rightly mentioned that when she was asked about a possible privilege motion against her for bringing her dog in the car, to which she playfully said "bobo" and walked away. Obviously, it seemed that she's absolutely unfazed and undeterred, and it seems that she is possibly waiting.
Okay, we'll know what comes of that. But like I said, on a serious note, we really do hope that pollution does become an issue that is discussed on the floor of the House. And many, not just in the national capital, would agree on that.